3-1 win away from home against Fulham. Was not really expecting that, but I am taking that every day of the week. Obviously, very happy with the win. The performance itself maybe wasn't vintage Liverpool, but all in all, 3 points is what matters. That's all we care about at this point of the season. At least that's what all I care about. Just get the wins. That's it. Throughout the season, you can say your performances may cost you in a sense, but when you're in the last 5-6 matches, just get the W's. 1-0s does not matter. Scoring early and then defending for the game, scoring late after not taking any chances. Just win the game. And Redmen TV, and this is no direct dig to them, but I'm just going to point this out because they post this photo out there. Says Jurgen with the message to all the moaning asses. Now this was before the game had even started at 1:19 a.m. And I'm thinking to myself when I saw this, we have, probably still have, very valid reason to be moaning and complaining about the team, Klopp, and how the last couple of weeks have gone. Knocked out of the Europa League, 3-0 at home to Atalanta of all teams, Not taking any chances. Peppering goals left, right, and centre. Scoring fuck all goals. Like for every 10 shots, we score 1 goal. And then even then, sometimes it's a lucky break. Conceding goals, conceding chances. That's been a problem. Losing 1-0 at home to Crystal Palace when everyone had money down that we would beat them. Conceding early in the game, 14th minute, 15th minute. And then for the rest of the, 75, 80 minutes, nothing happening at all. Could not fucking get a root in a brothel if we tried. Luck was that bad. It just was not happening. Salah, Jota, doesn't matter who it was. Nothing was going in, Talking to us like we haven't seen what we've seen with our own eyes of how poor we've been over the last, for our own standards over the last few weeks. And we call out these bad performances and what we see as moaning because we care, not because we're moaners. Yeah, we know this team is better than what it's been performing at the current state. It's crap what we have seen, but just keeping blind faith is not what I'm about, I can sit there and say, like, that's fine. I believe in Klopp, go Klopp, trust Klopp, we can make this happen. Yes, he is my manager. Yes, he is the man who brought us number 19. Yes, he is the man who has helped us get another Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Club World Cup, Super Cup, all that shit, But when there's something questionable, you're going to call it out because you're a normal human being. You don't just sit there with blind faith. You want blind faith? Find yourself religion, for example. Klopp, he's not a god. He's a fallible human being. We see mistakes. We see players starting. We see players being dropped. We see formation changes and all this sort of shit. I'm saying, okay, Klopp, what the fuck is happening? Has he actually checked out? Has he actually said, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to run whatever I'm going to run and whatever happens, happens. Or is he actually devising a plan? And it looks like so far we did get ourselves a win. And I changed my opinion and views based on what I see and the information provided. So at the moment, everything seems to be okay-ish, but there's a lot of room for improvement. And there was room for improvement because we won this game 3-1. Won the game 3-1. No complaints from my part in the result itself. Performances, maybe you may argue, there's still something to be said about us conceding a lot of chances and shots on target. Look, if Fulham had their shooting boots on, they could have equalised, they could have scored first, they could have gone ahead very easily. Not a bad team. We've played them a few times already this season. 4-3 at home, if you remember. We were losing 3-2. Endo had to equalise. Trent had to score the winner in the 86th minute, whatever it was, 2 minutes after Endo's goal. We played them in the Carabao Cup in the semi-finals, I believe. That was a little bit scarier at some stages too. So they're no mugs. They've beaten Arsenal. They've beaten Tottenham. They've beaten United. Or you can say it's Manchester United, whatever. But still, they drew with Arsenal with 10 players, I think. They equalised in like the 90th minute or something at the start of the season. I think, was it this season or was that last season? I can't remember now. But in any case, that did happen. So they're a decent team, Decent team. And, we needed to turn up in this game. We needed to get back on winning ways if we are to have any chance of competing, even going up to the last game of the season for this title, because Arsenal still have to play Spurs, Chelsea, City have to play Brighton. They also have to play Spurs. We have to play Spurs. We've got Everton in a couple of days' time as well. They won, albeit under controversial circumstances. So we definitely needed this win, definitely needed this win. After the shit that we saw last week and the week before that, definitely needed to increase our performances. And look, some players being dropped, I was a bit of a shock. Starting with Gakpo, Jota, and Diaz as a starting three, Gravenberch, Endo, and Elliott in the midfield, and the backline of Trent, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, and Robertson. You probably expect that. Maybe Kwanzaa, you probably say could have been Kanate, perhaps. Allison back in goal as well. Second game that we've seen him back in goal, like he did against Palace. So interesting one there. And not interesting, but it's just interesting seeing him back in the starting lineup, I should say, because he's been out for so long, you sort of forget that you have him. Same with Trent. But after the shit against Atalanta, the poor finishing at home against Palace and against Atalanta as well, and the draw away to United, I was questioning whether we could actually go away and get something out of this match, because the players are better than what we've seen this season. The definitely players are better than what we've seen over the last, few weeks, most definitely. Going throughout the whole season, winning matches late, even though it pains me. I hate seeing it, but still wins are wins. Yeah, performing well. Concede a chance here and there, but you still end up winning the match because you're better than the opposition, because you're taking your chances, but we were not taking any chances over the last few weeks. So, whether it's enough to make a change and a charge at this time of the season, we shall yet see. Because ultimately it's not down to us to have a final say. All we can do is just do our thing. But, starting this game with, as the lineup I just said, Trent get himself a banging free kick, 100 goals and assists for Liverpool as well, pinging crossfield balls from himself to Robbo on the other wing, or Gakpo, or whoever it is, just spreading the ball, crosses into the box, those whips, little 1-2 plays. Like, his creativity has been missed on that right side, make no doubt about it. Bradley has done well, but Bradley is no Trent. Yeah, even though Trent had his odd interview with Sky the other day, and mentality and Man City and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, very odd timing for an interview, but nonetheless, he did what he had to do, scored a banging free kick, and was decent in that match. And Gakpo is all starting on that left wing, which I think is probably his best position. Every time he's played on the left wing, he sort of like takes the ball out wide, he dribbles, cuts in, puts a cross in, or has a shot on target, got himself an assist for Jota's goal. Lovely play in towards Jota. Slotted that ball in nicely, and Jota is back. Again, that's his 100th goal in English football, so Liverpool and Wolves combined, and definitely needed that. His first start in like 2 months or something to that effect. And when Salah isn't scoring goals and finishing, Jota definitely is, because Salah, some people think that Salah is the better finisher. Some people think Jota is the better finisher. If you have those two on goal, you probably say Salah maybe finishes, 3 and 5. Jota, I'm probably thinking maybe, 4 and 5, for example. He's pretty clinical when it comes to, he's had a few mishaps over the last few weeks, but got himself a goal here to wrap it up. And that was 3-1 at the time, and then I probably could have done a little bit better. But Gravenberch, I want to big up Gravenberch, who a lot of people said this guy is not cut out to be a Liverpool player. He's rubbish. Sell him, and Galatasaray looking at potentially buying him at the end of the season during summer. If that's still going to happen, I'm not too sure. But what you can say is he got himself a cracking goal. Lovely finish. Elliott just intercepted a ball that was trying to be played across field and calmly laid it into Gravenberch's path, and just one touch out, bang, hitter, inside post, bang in it went, cracking finish, 2-1 at the time. Obviously, we conceded at the end of the first half. We'll get to that shortly, after Trent's banging free kick. And at that point, you're thinking, okay, Liverpool are in some control here, but Fulham still had some chances. But Elliott starting in the midfield alongside Gravenberch and Endo was not bad. Elliott getting himself the assist, as I said. Endo coming in for McAllister, who was rested, I imagine, in this match. Not a bad appearance. Did get muscled off the ball a couple of times, but overall was okay. Wasn't the worst performance, we'll just say that. And, a bit of a mishap for that Fulham goal. There's a scramble in the box. There's a blocks and rebounds, and potentially a penalty shout as well. I think there was a shot at Kwanzaa that maybe he would have blocked with his arms up like that or something, but ultimately it fell to, who did it fall to? Bloody hell. Who was their goal scorer? Castagna. It fell to Castagna, who ventured into the box somehow from right back, got himself his goal, and that was 1-1 before halftime at that point. And they still got chances and opportunities to get shots off. Better than the last few weeks from what we have seen, so not the worst thing in that sense there. So 3-1 it finished. Decent performance, not the worst. Still conceding a few chances. I mean, Fulham still had 12 shots, 5 on target. We had 14 shots, 7 on target. We both missed a big chance each. Ultimately, we get the points. That's all that matters for me at this point of the season. Now, with Everton getting themselves a big win the other day against Forest with some VAR fortune, no handball on Young, no tackles, no penalties. Look at my previous video if you want to learn more about that. They will be up for it for the derby on Wednesday. Make no mistake. They need to win to keep themselves up out of relegation. Even though they're not exactly threatened, they still need as many points as they can because, of course, they've had the points deduction and all that. So they are going to be definitely up for it. And nothing would please the Toffees more. Nothing would please Everton than to take points from us and hit that final nail in the coffin and bury our league hopes, as slim as they may be just yet. It's going to be an interesting game on Wednesday night for people overseas, Thursday morning for me, Anzac Day, public holiday here in Australia, so I'll be up to watch that game, and hopefully we get the points there. We're going to need to really be on our game because this Everton team can be a little bit plucky. And we'll see who does what in training, and with the Klopp, we'll change the team again. I imagine Salah and Diaz will probably be back on their respective wings. I think Gakpo had a solid match, so maybe he may persist with Gakpo on that left. Maybe if it does stick with Gakpo, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But Jota must start as a striker. You bring Darwin on later in the game if you want to play off the shoulder or whatever it is. Please do not start with Darwin in this game. As much as I'm a fan of Darwizi, he's just not a starter for this one for me. McAllister should be back in the middle. Is he going to start with Elliott and Szoboszlai? Is it going to be Endo, McAllister, Szoboszlai? Is it going to be Jones? Who the hell knows, Who the hell knows? And backline could probably remain as is, but you could probably bring in Kanate for Kwanzaa if you wanted to. I know he played against them in the home game at Anfield, and arguably should have got himself a second yellow card and sent off, but he wasn't. It was a lucky boy. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Alisson will stay in goals for me, but it's going to be a tricky game, and we need to win. Arsenal are playing Chelsea this week, so that could go either which way. I'm hearing Cole Palmer missed training because a bit of an issue. Someone else on that right wing, Malo Gusto as well, potentially out, so that could be interesting. We just need to win our game against Everton. That's all that matters for us. City will play on the weekend. We need to win this game and just stay in the hunt. As slim as that chance is, there is still a chance, as Jim Carrey says in Dumb and Dumber. 1 out of 1,000, and Mary says, no, more like 1 out of 1,000,000. And he says, so you're telling me there's a chance? And in that case, there is a little bit of hope left in us Liverpool fans that are moaners, only because we point out the shit that we see, because we're not happy with the performances and the standards from our Liverpool Football Club that we love and admire. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm out for this one. Up the Reds.